Hey guys, it's Taylor back with Life with Taylor, and today we are going to be watching spooky videos and ranking them. So let's get into it. Also, I just had some seaweed, so if there's seaweed in my teeth, don't say anything. This is the seaweed I was having. It's like chili lime. Love seaweed. If you are new here, and I'm going to try to explain this every time, I basically watch these videos and rank them on my scale here. It changes like every time because I can't find the one that I like. And yeah, that's my spooky scale. So that is what we're gonna be doing in this video. So you can come along as well. Okay, you can rank them. So I have 3 favorites. I have Bizarrebub. Actually, I have 4. Bizarrebub, Nuke's Top 5, Fearsome Top 5, and Mind Junkie.
This grainy black and white footage was captured by a truck's onboard camera at exactly 3 a.m. on one of the most dangerous stretches of highway in the region. The previous driver, who regularly worked this shift, had been involved in a tragic accident on this very same road.
Also, sorry. I'm like looking, maybe I can do it like this. I'm trying not to make it. I'm gonna try to look over here and not over here because I know it can get, I don't want to stare into your soul. Okay, thank you, let's continue. Just
This route in months. Behind him, someone or something quickly materializes in the cab. A translucent male figure appears before it disappears like it was never there. The current driver remains completely unaware, showing no signs that he senses anything unusual. When company officials later reviewed this footage, they made a chilling discovery. The face of the translucent figure was unmistakably that of the previous driver, the man's predecessor.
That was completely unnecessary.
Had returned to ride along on the journey he never got to finish. Creepy.
Okay, so here's my thing. I have a couple questions. Okay, well, I guess I took that as that guy that was behind him was supposed to be eliminated off of the earth. My questions are, was there anybody in the vehicle at the same time? Was there, and it looked like he kind of walked behind something, but it also looked like he could have just vanished into something. I'm trying to give you what I'm trying to think of, because let's go back. See, like right here. Is this something you walk behind, or is it like something flat?
Finish.
Hold on, let's go back.
Predecessor. He had returned to ride along on the journey he never got to finish.
There, or did he just like disappear?
Creepy.
See, it kind of looks like he walked behind. It would help if they said, oh, no, there was nobody in the same vehicle as the driver. Like, there was nobody there, it was just him. But I'm gonna give it a 6 on the spooky scale.
This footage comes from a man who thought he'd found the perfect apartment, but quickly discovered he wasn't the only one living there. For weeks, his new home had been the source of constant horror. Strange sounds echoing through the rooms at all hours. What started as minor disturbances had escalated into something far more sinister. The man had been documenting these incidents, hoping to capture proof of what was happening in his apartment. But on this particular night, while trying to record content for his social media, the activity reached a terrifying new level.
Okay, the strange noises I was gonna say could be the floor creaking, that door. I feel like you need to Is that his apartment? Oh yeah, it would be. He seems genuinely terrified.
He approaches one of the rooms where the sounds seem to be coming from, but as he enters the dark space, a drawer suddenly slides open on its own. It startles him so badly that he immediately flees the apartment, too frightened to stay inside. After leaving his apartment in fear, he looks back up at his window, and a silhouette can be seen against the glass, as if claiming
like
ownership of the space he just abandoned. Eventually, he forces himself to
Because look, these lights. Let me get my mouse. Because look, these.
A silhouette can be seen.
Those lights.
Against the.
Right there. Right there. Those are the stairs, and it seemed like he was fairly close to the stairs. I think it's his room.
Is it claiming ownership of the space he just abandoned? Eventually, he forces himself to return to his apartment, having nowhere else to go.
Is there a face in there? Or is it just knocking open? Oh, like there was something inside. That was good. That was like a tug.
These clips serve as a chilling reminder that sometimes, when you move into a new place, you're not just getting a home. You might be getting an unwelcome roommate that has no plans to move out. And the fact that it watched him from the window after forcing him to flee shows a level of intelligence and malice that goes beyond simple haunting. For those brave enough to continue living in such circumstances, the question becomes, how long can you share your space with something that clearly doesn't want you there?
Thanksgiving mystery, okay. I'm gonna say if something was haunting a place I lived, poltergeist activity. Hold on, there's seasoning on my hands. I am moving out as quickly as possible. Doesn't matter if I signed a 1-year lease. I will show the person who owns the apartment, hey, would you like to take a look at this video? Can I please have out of my lease? You've clearly got poltergeist activity and I want none of that. Or just go to a hotel. I think that would be like an experiment to go to a hotel to see if it continues, because then it's attached to you and not to the apartment. I'm gonna give that an 8. That was really good. I was thinking of all of the possibilities of why things were moving and opening, and like the drawers could have been like a string because we didn't see the other side of the room when they pulled open. But that second clip with the top opening and that thing moving across the floor, and there was like a wall, and it was like the angle, it couldn't have been next to the wall. 8.
These photos were shared on Reddit by user DrawRepresentative12 after a Thanksgiving dinner conversation with their grandparents took an unexpectedly chilling turn. It was supposed to be a typical family gathering, sharing stories and catching up over dinner, but when the conversation turned to their grandparents' home security system, things got disturbing quickly. The grandfather pulled out his phone to show some footage from their...
First of all, Gramps, love the phone case. That's gotta be like iPhone SE or like 7 or something. That's amazing. That looks like an old woman's phone or like a quilt lover's phone. Love it, Gramps.
Room camera. Images that had been captured a year earlier in June 2022, what started as innocent security footage, had revealed something that left the entire family questioning what was living in their house. The first photo shows a normal living room scene.
No. I've seen it and I've read it. You should go watch the video. It's like over here. Which one? This way? I think it's this way. I have read this. My thing is, here, we'll play it and then I'll talk to you, okay?
With the grandfather visible in frame, but standing right beside him, almost transparent, is the faint outline of a human figure. The second image zooms in on the same area, now showing the figure alone. It appears to be a young girl with long dark hair, clearly defined but somehow translucent. But the third photo is the most disturbing. Showing a figure peeking from a doorway. The head appears completely black, with only the body shape visible against the shadows. What makes this particularly unsettling is that the grandfather insists he was completely alone during the first two images. When the OP shared these photos on Reddit, the response was immediate and intense. Viewers described feeling chills and unease just looking at the images. Some suggested it could be an intruder hiding in the house, but how could someone stand so close without being noticed? Others point to the figure's period clothing and old-fashioned shoes, suggesting something from a different era entirely. The grandparents have only lived in the house for 3 or 4 years, but the presence seems to have made itself at home long before they arrived.
Here's my thing, since I've already been over it, I'm gonna try to make it quick and snappy. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I feel like old people don't know how to do technology. I'm sure some people do. Like some older people do. But I don't know, I get the feeling like they wouldn't know how to double exposure or put graphics in. The only thing is on the third picture, it looked different. Because like what I saw on the first 2 pictures, it was like a small like child, I guess. And then like the third picture, it looked like it took up a good amount of the door frame. So bit confused there. And I also like the reasoning that like if it was a real person, he probably would have seen how close that person was. So that's why I'm giving it a 7.
This video was recorded by US Air Force medic Anderson.
Do I have seaweed on my shirt? Nobody told me I had seaweed on my shirt. I have seen this. I don't know if I ever posted the video because I know I've had like 2 videos that went awry with the video footage, and but we'll watch it. If I have, I'll put a clip right here. But let's
goes by the TikTok handle House of Anderson. It was August the 19th, 2025, and Anderson was at home recording a casual message for his wife while she was away. The kind of sweet gesture that military couples often share when separated by duty.
At least I'll be home, and so we can prepare for Halloween. But yeah, there's that. Anyway, I just had to check the email real quick. So I'll be home in a sec, but I love you crazy.
Gary, come on, man.
As Anderson records his video, something begins to appear at the top of the doorframe behind him. a dark shape slowly emerges, almost like something is peering down at him from above. The entity watches him for several moments, studying his movements as he continues filming. Then Anderson hears a sound behind him.
I love you crazy. I love you crazy.
Causing him to pause and look around. By the time he turns to investigate, whatever was watching him has vanished. When Anderson sent this video to his wife, her response was unexpected. She pointed out that before he heard the noise, something had been visible behind him in the doorframe. Going back through the footage, Anderson was shocked to see what his wife had spotted. The presence had been silently observing him during what he thought was a private moment. As a military medic, Anderson is trained to notice details and assess situations quickly. But whatever was watching him had managed to remain completely undetected until the camera revealed its presence.
I'm gonna give that an 8 because, first of all, I don't think anybody can be upside down above a door frame and peek their head out. And it also doesn't look like a graphic, so I'm gonna give that an 8. But I've already seen that one and that's disappointing. 2 I've already seen. Let's hope none more.
This video was recorded by TikTok user Caitlin while she and her friends were stopped at a traffic light. What started as a typical drive through the city turned into something that left them questioning reality itself.
Why is this guy doing crunches? Where is he? Where is he? Ah! Oh no, he ran away! It's because you said that. He's gone. Wait, where'd he go?
The clip shows the man clearly visible, performing his unusual roadside workout, but when the camera pans away for just a moment, then returns to the same spot, the man has completely vanished. He's simply gone, as if he never existed. The girls' genuine shock and confusion is evident in their voices. They frantically search the area with the camera, trying to understand where he could have disappeared to, but there's no trace of him anywhere in the frame. The timing makes it particularly puzzling. The camera was only pointed away for seconds, far too brief for anyone to run out of view, especially considering the open area he was in. Some viewers believe this is evidence of reality glitching, a person literally disappearing from existence. Others suggest it's skillful editing, designed to create viral content.
No, I don't think it's editing.
The spontaneous reactions from the girls suggest genuine surprise at what they witnessed. However, did Caitlin capture something impossible? Or is there a logical explanation for this vanishing act?
I'm gonna give that a 4. I think he could have either gotten up and ran behind a tree because it looked like there were trees and telephone lines nearby, or editing. I mean, editing is getting so good nowadays where you can literally erase somebody out of a frame. So I'm gonna give it a 4, but I like the theories.
This photograph was shared on Reddit by a restaurant employee who finally captured what their staff had been encountering for over a decade. The image was taken in the attic of their workplace, a historic building with a fascinating past that spans multiple eras and purposes. Originally built as a private residence, the structure later served as a theatre before eventually being converted into the restaurant where it operates today. But with such a rich history comes stories.
Okay, wait.
And for the
I think, if it's wrong, I'm going to be embarrassed, but I think it's the picture where there's something peeking up over chairs or a booth. I feel
years, employees have reported numerous paranormal encounters throughout the building. Strange sounds during closing time, unexplained cold spots in certain areas, and the persistent feeling of being watched while working alone. Management had grown accustomed to these reports, but had never been able to document any evidence of the alleged activity until the image shows the
I got it wrong.
Attic storage area filled with the usual collection of boxes and equipment. but standing among the stored items is a dark, humanoid figure. The entity appears as a solid black silhouette, clearly defined against the lighter background of the storage space.
Here's my thing. Very distinct. But it's in the same grain, but I guess editing. But also, what is this? Is it standing behind something? It's so clear.
Photo particularly compelling is how the figure seems to be positioned naturally in the space, almost like it belongs there. For the restaurant staff, this photograph validates years of unexplained experiences.
Wait, are these the legs? Why is it so freakishly tall?
It provides the first visual evidence that something unusual may indeed be sharing their workplace. But after seeing this mysterious shadowy figure, nobody has any idea just who it is or why it's there.
I'm gonna give that a 6 because, first of all, why was it so freakishly tall? The grain looked like it was in the picture, but it could have been edited because, I don't know, it looked off. It looked not natural at all. I don't know, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies, and I'm gonna give it a 6. Impossible visitor.
This footage was captured by a group of construction workers in Indonesia during what should have been a peaceful rest period after hours of renovation work. The crew had been working on renovating a large building and had settled in for the night to get some sleep before continuing their project the next day. The structure they were working in was several stories high. Most of the workers had fallen asleep, exhausted from their labour, but one man remained awake. He had been hearing strange knocking sounds coming from one of the upper floor windows. Persistent tapping that continued for what felt like ages. Disturbed by the unexplained noise, he decided to investigate and film whatever might be causing the disturbance.
I'm waking everybody up if I have
A translucent head-like shape can be seen appearing at the window. Now here's where it gets a bit weird. The window where this face is seen is positioned several floors up from the ground, with no balcony or ledge outside. And directly below the window is a steep cliff drop, making it physically impossible for anyone to be standing there. The knocking sounds that had been disturbing the worker suddenly made sense, but raised even more questions. How could something be tapping on a window that no living person could possibly reach? When the workers later examined the exterior of the building, they confirmed there was no way for a person to access that window from outside. But what do you think this is? Is it something paranormal?
I'll give it a 5, 50-50, because it's kind of creepy. It took me a minute to realize what I was looking at. Is it paranormal? It could be like an animal, and it looked like far away, so you couldn't really see it like clearly, and the like window was frosted. And also I feel like when you're tired, your senses are heightened and you kind of hear things that may not be there or see things that may not be there, or your brain is turning things into things that are not there. I'm gonna give that a 5, 50-50 chance. I'm not really sure about that one. Night shifting counter. Get my sleep.
This next clip was uploaded by Clap Harris back in July 2022 after reviewing security camera recordings that revealed something unexpected in their home. Clap Harris worked night shifts in the office at a local factory, leaving their house empty during the late night hours when most people would be settling in for the night. For months, everything had been routine. They would leave for work around 10 PM and return home in the early morning hours to a quiet, undisturbed house. But recently, small things had been out of place when they returned. Nothing major, just subtle changes that made them wonder if someone had been inside while they were away. They decided to review their home security footage to see if anything unusual had been captured. mobile phone recording shows Claparis filming their security monitor, reviewing footage from a previous night. A white translucent shape begins to appear in the frame. Whatever it is, moves slowly through the space, almost floating rather than walking. When Claparis first saw this footage, she was torn between relief and fear. Relief that it wasn't a human intruder, but fear of what it might actually be. So, I turn the question to you. Just what is this transparent white shape floating around Claparis's room?
Claparis's. I don't know what's floating around her room. I'm gonna give that a 4. If it is a ghost, that's crazy because it doesn't look like a ghost. It looks like if the sun were to like hit that plant up there, that right there. Wait, that one up there, that guy up there. If it were to hit that up there and it would like the light would ricochet or like the lights, I don't know. It looks like that. I'm gonna give that. What did I say? A 5? I'm gonna give it a 5. The unwanted guest.
These next clips were uploaded by Melissa Indara. Melissa had been hearing strange noises throughout her
13.4 million followers. 984.6 million likes.
Clips were uploaded by Melissa Indara. Melissa had been hearing strange noises throughout her house, unexplained sounds that seemed to come from different rooms when no one else was supposed to be there. On this particular evening, she was home by herself when the activity escalated to a level that compelled her to grab her phone and start recording. What she captured would convince her that something invisible was sharing her living space.
You know what I was just thinking? Like, our first instinct when we hear something, we're like, we're gonna grab our phone. If somebody in like the 1950s had an encounter, they'd probably brush it off and be like, it's nothing. But like, what would they do? Like, if we were in a time without phones, what would our first instinct be? Like, run, go check it out? It wouldn't be pick up our phones if we don't have phones. That's what I was just thinking of.
Estoy sola en la casa y se acaba de escuchar una puerta. O sea, como si abrieran una puerta. Específicamente la de la cocina, pero no hay nadie, solo estoy yo. Estaba aquí sentada viendo la novela y haciendo otras cosas. Y aquí está la Chloe y la Sushi. Y de este lado está el Coco y el Rufo, están ahí, acostados. Y la puerta de la cocina está cerrada. Esa puerta de ahí se acaba de escuchar de nuevo. Pero estoy sola. Vean, la Chloe está como pendiente porque yo no sé, ella ve fantasmas. Pero ella escucha de todo, o sea, suena algo y ella está pendiente. Se acaba de escuchar. No sé si ir. En las películas de terror suena algo y como que... Ay, no. En las películas de terror cuando suena algo, tú dices que no vayan a ver, pero obviamente tienen que ir a ver porque es su casa. No sé, o sea, ahorita como que le di otro sentido. Aparte está lloviendo. Y ahorita se acabó de escuchar algo arriba y la puerta y una niña llorar al lado. Pero al lado no vive ninguna niña. Y esto yo sí les he dicho en videos que siempre en la casa de al lado suena, o sea, se escucha como una niña reírse y llorar. Pero al lado no vive una niña. No hay niños al lado. Voy a ver lo de la cocina porque... Bueno, arriba no creo que... No, yo arriba no voy. Solo voy a ver lo de la cocina porque ahorita se escucha como...
Wait, go back. Look at this red light. Is that a camera? We need to see the footage. Also, besides the point, I love when Spanish speakers like speak really, really fast. It just sounds so satisfying to my ears. Without the captions, I could probably make up like 50% of what she's saying, but I just love the way they talk.
Voy a ver. Ahorita ya no se escucha nada, pero esta puerta está cerrada. Se está moviendo la puerta. Es que no hay nadie, o sea, puede ser un fantasma. Prefiero que sea un fantasma. La Chloe hasta se bajó. Arriba yo no voy porque arriba sí me da miedo. Pero la Chloe está viendo para allá. Ay, no, yo me voy a mi cuarto.
Melissa begins filming
been
while
like a waft of
explaining
air.
that she's completely alone in the house. She describes hearing what sounds like a door opening, specifically the kitchen door, but insists there's no one else home. Her pets seem to sense something as well, particularly her dog Chloe, who appears alert and focused on areas where Melissa can't see anything. As she continues recording, more sounds can be heard, including what she describes as crying from next door, though she insists no children live in that house. Despite her fear, Melissa decides to investigate the kitchen where the sounds seem to be originating. When she approaches the kitchen door, it begins moving on its own, while Melissa confirms there are no windows open or sources of wind.
Sola, o sea, literal, estaba totalmente sola. Arriba no había nadie, en este piso no había nadie, y abajo hay otro piso y tampoco había nadie. Y se movió la puerta de la cocina. Y lo peor es que no estaba ninguna ventana abierta, no había de algún lugar donde entre viento, nada. Yo hice como en las películas de terror, o sea, fui a investigar porque estaba sola y es mejor ir a ver, o no sé. Y con esto les quiero contar que ayer me pasó algo porque salí al baño como a las 3 de la mañana y en el pasillo de la casa, les voy a enseñar. En este pasillo que es para salir del cuarto se ve directamente la sala, específicamente como que la ventana, esa parte de ahí. Y ayer que salí al baño, yo regresé a ver para allá porque sí da miedo y entonces yo regreso a ver. No pregunten por qué, si me da miedo regreso a ver, solo regresé a ver. Y la cosa es que había una silueta como de un señor parado en la ventana y tengo foto. O sea, esta vez sí no fui a investigar ni nada, estaban todos en mi casa, yo no fui porque literal era la silueta de un señor. Acá el otro día como que empezaron a sonar las cosas, pero acá era la silueta de alguien y no se movía para nada. Bueno, en realidad grabé. Vean ahí como una silueta de algo y si se ve como que una luz afuera es porque el farol no se apaga. Vean, aquí le tomé captura y se ve mejor, es una silueta de alguien ahí parado como que en la ventana. Eso sí no me acerqué a ver.
In a follow-up video, Melissa reveals an even more disturbing encounter that happened the night before. She explains that around 3 a.m, she went to the bathroom and noticed a dark silhouette standing by the window. The figure appeared to be that of a man, motionless and watching the house. This time, Melissa was smart enough to capture a photo instead of investigating. The image she shows reveals a distinct human-shaped shadow positioned at the window. For Melissa, these experiences have become too frequent and too frightening to ignore. She's made the decision to never stay alone in the house again, convinced that whatever is happening is beyond her ability to handle alone. The escalating nature of these encounters suggests something is becoming increasingly bold in its presence. Whether this is a supernatural entity making itself known, or something far more dangerous stalking her property, Melissa's instinct to seek safety seems wise. But what do you think has been visiting Melissa's home? Could this be a supernatural presence testing her boundaries, or something far more sinister lurking around her property?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna give that a 3. It just literally does not look like the door could have been moving by hold on. Have I been sounding robotic this entire time? There we go, that should be fixed. Oh my god, that's gonna be really annoying. I think, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 because the door could have moved with wind. The man it looked like a statue, to be honest. It looked weird, but not like paranormal weird. And I feel like she was filming herself too much. And that's what somebody said in the comments. Wait. That's what somebody said over here. Oh my god, did I touch? My eyes are burning. Somebody said if Melissa would stop filming herself, we might get to see something. Somebody else said Melissa said the place downstairs was empty. I suspect she has a squatter / stalkers, and that's far scarier than a ghost. Well, I give it a 3. Last one, mother's message. Okay,
This video was uploaded by Sandra1818 with a heartbreaking caption that reveals the emotional context behind what she's been experiencing. Not long had passed since Sandra lost her mother, and in that time, she'd been noticing unexplained activity throughout her home. The caption suggests this wasn't an isolated incident, but part of an ongoing series of mysterious occurrences. And on this particular day, Sandra was ready with her camera when something extraordinary happened.
Things that keep happening in my house since my mom passed away.
Okay, maybe it's a coincidence.
Like why?
Wait. This dresser is similar to mine. Mine doesn't have like this edge, but it has, instead of these two, it's 1, 2, and it has these exact same handles in this like white used look, and then, but it doesn't have a countertop. That is creepy. Also, one thing that I noticed that I don't know if it happens with a lot, but like my doors, I have my dresser, the drawers will open randomly because of like the tilt, and it's happened at 3 houses. So I have to put like carpet, like those furniture raisers underneath, and then like pieces of paper. So I'm wondering, and she also moved. I wonder if that did something, but let's keep watching. Okay, we did hear it shut. Okay. Can't be slammed. Well, that one kind of opened a little more. Don't move, please, lady.
I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. It seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Your cat's fucking weird.
What strikes her the most is the timing of these occurrences. The activity seems to happen specifically when she's thinking about or mentioning her mother. In her grief, these mysterious movements have become a source of comfort. But what do you think is causing these unexplained movements in Sandra's home? Could this be her mother's spirit providing comfort in her time of sorrow?
That was actually number 1. I'm gonna give that a 6 because she did push all of the drawers in. It looked like it was kind of popping out before she said mom, but that was impeccable timing. It can't be the slant because all the other drawers, or at least one other drawer, would be out. What did I say? I give it a 6. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if my voice was a little echoey and robotic, if that even happened. Comment down below your thoughts on these videos, and while you're down there commenting, click all the buttons, you know what to do, and I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world viewing this, and peace.